These are some of the new mechanics of 1.19 that are useful for farms. 1.19 the world update is on its way and it's going to be wild. So many new mechanics and stuff are coming to the game now. And speaking of mechanics, whenever Mojang adds a new thing to the game, people tend to spend their time and figure out new ways to make farms for them or out of them. Like when the piglins were introduced to the game, people came up with the idea of bartering setups, which made trading with piglins so much faster and more efficient overall. Or like with the recent update, the 1.17, people made lava farms using the dripping lava from the newly added dripstone. And we saw some new mechanics introduced to Minecraft in the Minecraft Live for the upcoming 1.19 update. And you probably put the dots together by now. These are some farm ideas for the upcoming features of the 1.19 The Wild update. First one and the most obvious one is the clay farm. We saw the introduction of the new mud block which you can use to make mud bricks, a new building block. That's great, but it doesn't end there. You can make mud by splashing water on dirt. Also, you can suck the water out of the mud. You can place the mud block and dripstone under it in order to dry the mud, and then it turns to clay. So you can basically with this mechanic make a farm that turns nothing to clay. All you need to do is to make a stone generator farm and bone meal this stone to make it to moss. Then you need to grow 4 block wide spruce trees on top of the moss, which turns the moss into podzol. Then podzol gets exploded and turns into dirt, which you can make mud out of. And the rest is easy. You just need to place a mud on top of dripstones to suck the water out of them. And in that way, basically you have a way to make clay and other stuff that requires clay to make from nothing. Also, this farm requires bone meal to turn the stone into moss, but the moss farm can provide the bone meal for itself. So this is basically an infinite supply of clay. I'm sure the moment update drops, people are going to be all over it and make the craziest farms out of it. The next mechanic is going to be something entirely new in the game, and it might change it forever. With the addition of the new deep dark cities, some new blocks will be added to the game, like the skulk sensor, which is basically wireless redstone. They can help making contraptions so much better and even more compact to a certain level. But what I have in mind is the skull catalyst. This amazing looking block is going to be game changing. You basically can store XP with this block and use it whenever you need it. Whenever a mob dies near this block, it turns the blocks around it into a skulk and a skulk veins. And the moment you break this generated skulk, you'll get some amount of XP. Although it's not much, I think the more XP gives you, the more OP it is. So I don't think it's entirely bad, because it's going to keep the game challenging and doesn't make it too easy. So basically all you need is a stone generator. You just have to make the mobs rain on top of the skull catalyst, and it turns the newly generated stone into the skulk. And then you either can store the skulk or just break it with TNT to get the XP instantly. And with this design you can have an XP farm which doesn't require players to do anything. Some YouTubers already made some cool designs for this kind of farm, and I think it's going to be a relevant farm to build the moment 1.19 arrives. And that's it for this video. If you like this video, please consider subscribing, and I hope you enjoyed. Later.